Hi, I'm Rich with Inside HPC. We're here at the GPU Technology Conference in Silicon Valley. And today I'm here with Bob Fletcher from Verne Global, the Iceland cloud provider, right? Uh, Bob, let's start at the beginning. For those that might not know, who is Verne Global and who do you help?
We're a leader in industrial scale computing, so we have two major offerings. One is a industrial strength co-location facility in Iceland that takes advantage of the inexpensive green energy and the cool climate there, and offers about a 40% advantage over regular co-location from a value perspective. In addition to that, we have a high performance bare metal cloud that is gaining a significant traction in this community here, the AI training, the HPC applications, video processing, et cetera, et cetera. So we're really enjoying a tremendous upswing in business.
Well, that's great, to see, the green computing in Iceland coming to HPC like this. What kind of customer workloads are you seeing up there, Bob?
Our large announced customers are people like BMW that do all their crash testing. So any vehicle that is out in the marketplace today has to go through a regime of crash tests. And it's too expensive to make a mistake, so you have to simulate the hell out of it before you actually go and take X number of cars and drive them into a wall and get them certified.
Right.
So they have a fairly substantial cluster that's running 24 hours a day, 360 days a year, and we have a number of other people doing similar sort of things. So those are the big traditional HPC applications, whether it be crash test, computational fluid dynamics, structural analysis, all those types of things. Mm-hmm. Recently, we've seen a big influx of people that are looking at the newer technologies, the AI neural net training. So we've got an announced customer, DeepL, that are doing a language-to-language translation tool, and they're looking at taking all sorts of open source literature in different languages, feeding it into a neural net, and let it figure out what the translation should be. So it's like a child learning, languages from the get-go, and it's figuring it out. It's doing a much better job than Google by all accounts. It's an amazing thing to see.
Bob, we're reading a lot about the crypto mining going on in Iceland because of all the advantages that you guys have up there. Are you seeing the financial sector kind of engage as well?
Yes, we are, but let me start with the evolution of the cryptocurrency, guys. Originally, it's a few people would set up servers in their garage and do some mining and make some progress and make a few dollars on the side. Yeah. And then more and more people got interested, and you started to see the thing scale up. There's been an interesting evolution over the last 12 months where the people need to have substantial scale to get into the space and make money. So we're seeing people that are starting with 50 kilowatts, 100 kilowatts, half a megawatt, and we're starting to experience requests from some traditional financial services organizations that want to mine some currency to put into their treasury, and those guys are coming at us in multiple megawatts.
So, Bob, what are you seeing in the evolution of the workloads in the HPC space?
Well, Richard, that's fascinating. I was at a conference just about 6 weeks ago, and there was a very interesting combination between AI and HPC. In this particular case, a number of researchers at Imperial College London were looking at redesigning jet engines to make them more efficient. But at the end of their speech, they talked about what they were dreaming of working on in the future. And this was the combination of AI and CFD. So if you imagine CFD, you've got air flowing over a wing or through a jet engine, and you will drop little points that may be a centimeter apart or a millimeter apart, depending on how much computational power you have, and do your analysis. What they were talking about evolving to was you take this grid and you do it at a very fine granular pitch, and then you rework that pitch with AI to reduce it where you don't need the fine pitch, and then do all your research and development and product development at that AI generated grid, and then finally you go back to the very fine coarse grid and validate that all your research is still effective. So think of it as turbocharging the traditional HPC application with AI. So they're anticipating getting 2/3 extra efficiency out of that technique. And that was, I wish I thought about it.
Right.
It's really straightforward when you think about it.
Yeah.
But some bright people thought of it first.
Well, great, Bob. Well, what about trends for the future? You've got HPC as a service up there. What are you seeing?
Well, it's a trite marketing phrase, but we're seeing all AI roads leading to Iceland. So what we're seeing is probably 3 times as many people interested in AI and AI neural network training in a location that is cost effective. So if you're doing a big natural language project or some image recognition or something that's quite compute intensive, if you do it in Frankfurt or you do it in London or you do it in Paris, compared to Iceland, you could be spending €1 million a year more. So we're starting to see people realize that, and we're getting, like I say, 2 out of 3 people banging on our door somehow or other involved with AI, and it's a fabulous trend. It's nice to feel that you're in the thick of it again.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting, and thanks for sharing that with us today. And I hope you have a great show here at the GPU conference.
It's going to be fabulous. It's been fabulous so far, and I'm looking forward to this evening on the exhibit floor.